When dragons dominate the skies of a fantasy world, its inhabitants shudder in fear. Sheep wait for their turn to be devoured, cows cower, and kingdoms hide behind castle walls. What would happen if this reign of terror went on, say, for millions of years? I'd wager that the unstoppable hand of evolution would shape the animals and the people of this world to survive a land of scales and fire. While many would go extinct, those who survive would be near unrecognizable. Today, we discuss one of those successful animals, the Hellmouth. The arid region of the Gorgelands and Dune Sea are harsh environments known for their deep stone labyrinths and expansive waves of sand. Not only is the environment harsh, but it is populated by several dragon species, most common being the Hellbasker and Wailing Bishop. So, what sort of animal would thrive here under these natural and draconic pressures? Cingulata, or the armadillo, comes to mind. Unique for mammals in having armored leathery skin, and a penchant for burrowing, and already having becoming large in Earth's own past, it seems few other animals are so naturally well equipped for dealing with something like a dragon. For this reason, they did rather well here. Allow me to tell you the tale of the armadillo and its success in a world of dragons. World building for the Dragonslayer Codex involves equal parts storytelling, a dash of bioscience, and lots of artwork. If you have a similar project you are developing, you'll find that most of the work is actually technical, involving programs and systems you'd never think you'd use. This is where the sponsor for today's video, Skillshare, comes in handy. Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives with thousands of classes led by industry experts across film, illustration, design, freelance, productivity, and more. Skillshare can help you take your career, skills, hobbies, and passions to the next level. I personally enjoyed all of the illustration and world building classes on there, and there are really so many to choose from. In my experience within the community, I find its diverse array of classes easy to follow along with, and there is nothing you won't find there. I've been learning about video editing for YouTube and have been enjoying how understandable it is. If you're like me, you'll find that it's hard to keep your attention span focused while you're trying to learn a new skill, especially a technical, behind-the-scenes one. Thankfully, each segment is short and digestible and makes this community a fun one to engage with. I root for creatives in all manners, and Skillshare's community is made of artists, for artists, by artists. Even better though, is that they offer specialized learning paths, which are unique, curated, sequential class collections that will help you master new skills and competencies. I've been able to keep my work polished with it, hence my endorsement today. Now, if this interests you, you'll be glad to note that the first 500 people to use my link in the description will receive 1 month free trial of Skillshare. Get started today and let me know what you think. World building tools in hand, I am able to deduce the inevitable success of the armadillo. Its form in the current world is unlike anything it ever resembled on Earth. Heavy tusks tilt its head downwards with their weight. Stained orange with iron, the teeth themselves resemble wicking flames with their antler-like branches. Upon their back sits the leathery shell their family is so famous for, retained in this species as armor against dragon attack. Particularly heavy is the shell thickness behind its nape, an area the Hellbasker is known to attack prey. Their clawed hands and sturdy limbs keep their center of balance strong, and they never tumble or tilt. During the day, they slumber within the Gorgelands, tan-colored shells resembling the surrounding rocks, so closely that they practically vanish into the scenery. They lumber into watering pools to drink, where they often encounter Hellbaskers. They usually keep distance from one another, but on the rare occasion, you'll find a dead dragon in the cage-like maw of the Hellmouth, or the hulking body of a dead Xenarthan being fed on by several Hellbaskers. For them, a shaky truce benefits both parties. Nighttime is when the Hellmouth shines. Leaving the Gorgelands, they embark into the exposed Dune Sea to capture and devour dune moles, using their unusual teeth to sift for and wrestle the creatures out of the ground. This food source, rich in fat, protein, and water, is shared by the Wailing Bishop, who specializes in the moles themselves. The Hellmouth and the Wailing Bishop compete fiercely for this resource. The Hellmouth is closest to the ground, and thus has a high success rate in actually finding the moles first. The bishop, however, can fly, and skim feeds the sand, covering more ground. The Hellmouth cannot afford the energy demands of long-distance travel, thus has developed a territorial attitude and will stand its ground. When faced by a bishop, they open their maw as a warning, reddish teeth glistening in the moonlight. If the bishop charges their way, they clamp around its neck and suplex the dragon backwards onto the ground. This display of power usually convinces the bishop to use its mobility and find easier food elsewhere. But aggressive individuals use their ability to spew molten sand to its fullest effect in an attempt to encase the Hellmouth in black glass. Often, this spells doom. However, an instinct to brace the ground and present its shell means that most specimens of this mammal will hold various degrees of bishop glass on their shells, the heaviest of which greatly impedes their mobility, and elderly individuals usually succumb to it. But those who endure gain unintentional armor against future rivals. The animal is a solitary hunter, but exists socially within a family group when resting. Each spring, a female gives birth to a litter of 3 pups, who are born without the arms and armor of their parents, and greatly resemble, actually, the small armadillo stock they descend from. The family unit is rather protective at this time, and new mothers are accompanied by older females who help raise the young. At maturation, the males will leave and find new territories, while the females stay within their maternal groups. Hound keepers are a kingdom of humans who cohabitate here. They respect the Hellmouth as a stone given flesh, and have attempted to tame it as they have their various dogs, with little success, admittedly. Those who manage it are usually oracles who commune with the older females and tell the future by the various grooves and textures present in the animal's tusks. Evolution finds a way to exploit any available niche in a given environment, and, in cases of extreme pressure, some animals are better suited than the rest. In this instance, the lowly armadillo found itself a niche as a semi-nomadic ground hunter, competing directly with the dragons of the region. No small feat, I would say. As a side, I wanted to thank you guys for 10,000 subs. I am thrilled that this passion project of mine has resonated with so many people, and I hope to continue to deliver for you. If you didn't know, these drawings will be compiled into a book series that covers this world and the various creatures within it as a sort of field guide, so keep your eyes out. I'm posting early peeks at the book pages over on Patreon, so if you're able, come check it out. And if not, totally fine, just please follow me here, then you can see more. As, of course, thank you to my current patrons for your continued support. I really can't do this without you. Thank you extra to my top patrons listed here. I'll catch you in the next video. Until next time.